All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Fernando, and today I want to talk about a topic that has really impacted me as a dad. And that topic is coaching your kids in sports. For those of you that don't know, I have three daughters, and my oldest two are in sports. I've had the privilege of coaching them for their sports teams. I've had the privilege of being there for the wins, for the losses, and for the lessons learned. And it has really impacted me. And I didn't think coaching my kids would teach me so much until I started to think and reflect on all of the teams and all of the players and all of the time I spent coaching my kids in sports. And it's really taught me a lot about patience. It's taught me a lot about my ego, my leadership, and my habits. Honestly, coaching my kids from the youth level and all the way on as I believe made me a better dad. So today I want to talk about the three biggest lessons that I've learned coaching my daughters in sports. And these lessons are, I think they're pretty important. And I think they can be relatable to parents, especially dads who coach their kids, dads who coach their daughters. So let's get into it. So, lesson number one would be the sport isn't about me. The sport that my daughter's playing, whether it be soccer, softball, basketball, or whatever, I've learned through experience that it is not about me. It's not about my ego. It's not about my reputation. And it's not about like how I look as a dad, as a coach. It's not a reflection of me at all. It's not about, like batting average. It's not about how many goals scored. For a long time, unfortunately, that wasn't always clear to me. I don't know if I was trying to live or I've been trying to live vicariously through my kids in sports. And I feel like their wins are my wins and their losses are my losses. And if she struggles, that it's a reflection on me as a dad. All of those thoughts and all of that thinking is just ego. And it's taken me a while to understand that, to learn that. And that's why I thought it would be a great thing to talk about here today on my first podcast. Because I know that a lot of dads can relate to it. So, sports are supposed to be where kids learn about life, learn about resilience, learn about bouncing back, learn about struggle, learn about teamwork. And unfortunately, for a lot of us, and I'll put myself right at the top, for a long time, it used to be about me. And it used to be if my kid does good, then hey, look at the great job that I'm doing. Look at her athletic ability, man. She's awesome. And it would be somewhat of a, I guess, like an ego bump without me even realizing and without me even reflecting on that. And it's taken me a while to realize like, man, it's not about that. Now that I'm a lot better about that and I notice it, I see it in other parents, and it's not a judgment and it's not a indictment by any means, because nobody's perfect, but it is something that is noticeable. I've been fortunate to coach my kids and train them, and I've been fortunate to see that in myself. I've been able to try to steer the ship in the right direction. Not to say that I'm perfect, but I feel like I'm a lot better understanding that this sport, the games, whatever it is that we're attending, it is not about me. I'm just there. I am the cheerleader and I am there to support, and that's it. Lesson number two that coaching my kids has taught me about life, that your kids are watching more than they're listening to you. And as a coach, when you're out there, you're on the field, you're on the dugout, you're wherever, and you're talking about strategy and you're talking about all of the things that the players should do and what my kid should do when I'm training her. You're talking about instructions, and they're they're listening, but they're more so observing and absorbing what you're actually doing, what your actions are, how you respond when things go wrong. They're more interested and they learn more from how you interact with other parents, how you interact with other coaches, how you interact and how you talk about other people, how you handle frustration, how you handle failure. All of those little things that you think they're not watching, they are actually watching more than what you're saying. Your reactions, my reactions as a dad are far more important to my daughter than what I'm actually saying, what I'm actually teaching her technique wise and everything. How we handle failure is one of the top things that they're going to be looking at. They're going to be absorbing because basically our kids are like mirrors, and how you react is very likely how they're going to react when they're older and when sports are gone and when they're in the real world handling real world failures. So that's definitely something that um, coaching my kids has taught me. Coaching my kids has also forced me to look in the mirror, not just when I'm coaching them, but also in the mirror when I'm at home. How I'm handling stress. Do I come home? Am I yelling? Am I frustrated? Am I short with people? How am I treating those around me? How am I treating their mom? How I respond when there's just so much noise and it's just everything is just so overwhelming. I am aware that my kids are watching more than they are listening. And coaching has helped me reflect on that and understand that a little bit deeper. And the third lesson that coaching my kids has taught me is that failure is just part of the process. As dads, we want to protect our kids from everything, right? We want to protect them from any type of thing that can hurt them emotionally, obviously physically. We hate to see. I hate to see my kids fail. It's not a pleasant thing. But through that disappointment and through that frustration is a level of growth that they otherwise wouldn't have. They wouldn't have the resilience. They wouldn't build the resilience muscle if they didn't have those failures. So, as bad and as frustrating and as difficult it might be as a dad to watch your kids go through struggles and failures on the field, I know that it's a preparation for life because that's just part of the process. Failing in life is part of the process, and how you bounce back and the resilience that you show when you bounce back is never going to stop. That's going to continue forever. The failure is going to be there forever at every level, at every sport, in every business, and every job. And I think that sports give kids somewhat of a safe space for failure because you're within the lines of the game, of the field. Safe space for struggle. A lot of the safe space is kind of a taboo word, and sometimes it's like, oh, safe space. But in the context of what I'm talking about today, I very firmly believe that failure in sports is a preparation for a strong, resilient kid and a strong, resilient adult. And sometimes you just got to go through it. You got to go through those bumps and through that hurt and through the pain. It's part of the process. And so with that, reminding myself and reminding her, both my daughters, that failure isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're learning, and it's a sign that you're growing. You're growing into a stronger, more resilient person that will one day be an adult that will be able to better handle the curveballs and the struggles that life will eventually, hand over to you, because, everybody has struggle. Everybody has some type of issue, right? Nobody has a perfect life. Those are the three top lessons for me as a dad that has coached my kids in sports. I've learned a lot. So just to recap, number one would be that the sport isn't about me. It's about her growth. Number two would be that our kids learn much more by watching us than by listening to us. And the third one would be failure is just part of the process. It's just part of learning. It's not something to avoid. So coaching my kid maybe has made my kid better, but more importantly, I feel that coaching my daughters and my kids have made me better, made me a better man, a better father, and a better leader. So if you're a dad listening to this, I hope that this can be something to reflect on, something to encourage you, something for you to think about. Because, man, I know that from where I started coaching, my young kids to where I'm at now, it's night and day difference. I'm cheering them on. I'm a support system for my kids rather than my kids being an ego bump for me. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Very first episode of my own podcast. This is a big topic for me because my family is a big sports family, and we're in all sports. So this is something that I felt it would be appropriate as my very first solo podcast. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it so much. And if you found this helpful, share it to another dad that might find this helpful. All right. See you guys.